All right, we're here on 1960. Saw some lights in the... I saw some lights up ahead and figured we'd go check out this guy on his traffic stop.
I've been here like 16. Next time, just also
Door open.
Lincoln Charles Victor 9611, Black Chevy Silverado, occupied in DC Town, heading under airline.
How you doing tonight, sir?
How you doing?
Blessed. How you? What's your name?
Broom?
Boom. What was
You
your
work for
last
Patrick?
name?
You're your own guy? Okay.
We all work for ourselves, man. We all work for ourselves.
No, not too quick. I was out here about 10 minutes. That's about average, I think.
About average.
Unless you're going to do something else besides warn a guy.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's good. That's good.
I don't like doing traffic stops, period, because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But I do it if I have to, like if someone does something really dumb right in front of me, you know.
For sure. So I had a question.
What's
So
up?
when an officer joins the force, he goes through like a physical exam. And so, like, do officers have to go through physical exams annually, or is there like an updated physical exam, or can you just like become an officer and then become overweight? You know?
There's an initial physical exam that everybody has to pass, and honestly, it's not super demanding.
And so it's not kept up with.
Well, the initial exam is not, like I said, it's not hard to pass.
Okay.
But after that, you have an option of taking it. The new classes now, I hear, don't have the option, so they kind of did away with that. But like for my class, I've been on 13 years.
Okay.
For us, we have the option of taking the test every year, and if you take it, they give you like an extra day off or something.
For sure.
It's optional.
It just seems like, I mean, like you look like a very physically fit officer. You're the kind of guy that I want to show up to protect me if I need you.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that a lot of officers that begin to get comfortable start to get a little sloppy. And I don't want a guy that weighs 200 pounds that can't run a mile to be the guy that's called to come and help me.
I weigh 230, man.
No, but I'm saying an overweight,
No,
unhealthy guy, you know? And so, like, I feel that maybe an updated physical exam or something like that might be something good that the people can work towards putting in the system so that we can have officers that are physically fit working for us.
I don't disagree with you. I think everything, it's just a money thing.
Yeah.
Anytime you implement any kind of new program or any new training, it's more money. And a lot of times people think that, you know, hey, you need more training in this, you need more training in that because you guys suck at doing X, Y, Z. It may be true, yes, but again, where's the money coming from?
For sure.
And people don't want to give more money to cops, but at the same time, they want cops to have more training. So you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, I mean, training is cool. Updated equipment, maybe less required every so often. Because I noticed a lot of the money's going to new updated equipment instead of new training. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how cool of a gun you got if you don't know how to use it. You know?
Well, with us, it's we got to buy our own guns.
For sure.
They give us a list of approved guns and stuff. But
cool.
Yeah, man. With equipment, that's kind of iffy too because a lot of these cars barely run. You know, and we don't have take-home cars like a lot of the constables and sheriffs do.
For sure.
We share this car with a bunch of other officers.
For sure. Yeah, I just did a little research, I've been digging, and I've come to see that 80% of officers in Houston, according to like what a doctor would say, are technically overweight.
80.
80%. And 40% are part of domestic violence situations.
It's still cops.
And so how does that work?
I don't know. I know if you get arrested for domestic violence, you can't have a gun, and if you can't have a gun, you can't be a cop.
And so like,
So if
how
there was
does-
a domestic violence incident and they're still a cop, that means they weren't convicted of domestic violence.
and so that means there's probably something internally that happened to get them off the hook.
You have to be convicted of domestic violence.
Yeah.
I got it.
And there's a large percentage that people don't know about of boy who cried wolf domestic violence
For
stuff.
sure.
I mean, I had one not too long ago where I show up and the woman has bruises all over her, and while the EMTs are checking her out, they wipe her down and the bruises come right off. It's like it's makeup on her, man.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
and we're seeing a lot more of that, like people, like the women just trying to get the husbands in trouble, or vice versa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or husband. I mean, I'm not, whatever. I'm not.
I just know that if you hand someone a hammer, everything starts looking like a nail pretty quick.
Right.
And when you hand someone power, it gets really easy to start to take advantage of that situation. And sometimes you start to get a little bit of a God complex to where you feel like you can just get away with anything because you're friends with the lieutenant or the sergeant or the chief or whoever it be. And then we don't have officers getting convicted when we need them to be convicted. And like our
Right.
goal is to find the good cops. Like, would you consider yourself a good officer?
Yeah.
You wouldn't, I mean, obviously you just gave that guy a warning. And so I would consider that great, because right now we don't need people having to pay stupid tickets when we're going through all this stuff. And so I
But if-
appreciate that a lot.
If he would have hit somebody and I gave him a warning,
Then it would have been worse.
then I'd be a bad officer.
Yeah.
I mean, but to him, I'm the coolest cop in the world because he didn't get a ticket. We're all, as a human race, self-serving, right? Whether we want to admit it or not, it's just to what degree are we self-serving?
For sure.
Some are way more than others, all right?
Sure.
But in the end, we have our own interests at heart first, okay? When it comes to my family and my kids, I would die for them. I would always do everything for them before myself.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But overall, after family and to some point religion, I mean, we're just a self-serving bunch. And if it doesn't benefit us as a person, then we're against it. Like a lot of the same people who say, you guys have too much power. We need more training for cops. We need this and that. We need you to learn how to use your equipment. You guys need to learn the laws. A lot of those same people, when they're the victim of the crime, change their tune. Why can't you go kick down their door? I don't know how many times I've heard that. Like, they're in there. Just go in there and get them. Go kick down their door. That's a huge violation of civil rights.
Oh, big time.
Whether they're a criminal or not.
Yeah, you have to have proof.
But these are the same people in some of these certain communities where it's more prevalent than others that are claiming that we don't need cops at all.
For sure.
You do have your uneducated and the people that are using their self-serving education that they have,
Yeah.
back and forth like that. So yeah,
And
I call them chameleons.
Yeah, I mean that's a good description. Yeah, and I look at it like this: my job is not to make people's life harder. That was not in the oath I took, and I'm not going to sit here 13 years later and pretend like I memorized it. But I know it doesn't say that. Hey, use your power to get things you want, and it doesn't say use your power to make people whose life probably is pretty hard already harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And so you haven't had any internal investigations or anything done on you before?
Once.
Yeah.
Once.
What was it about?
Uh,
I mean, I'll go FOIA request it if you don't want to talk about it.
no, I got in trouble for it, and I was just gonna say too earlier. A lot of things people don't realize, and I was talking to my beatmate about this just yesterday, is that because we don't go to jail for a crime doesn't mean that cops aren't punished. There's a huge amount of people I know personally out of a 5,000 officer department that have gotten in trouble for something. And I've had close personal friends of mine fired. Now, someone who's from the outside might say these officers should have went to jail for this, but you're losing your job, you're losing your livelihood. You can't be a cop ever again. and this is the highest paying job you can probably have without a degree.
For sure.
If you look it up on the internet.
Oh yeah,
that's-
for sure.
And that's why a lot of us get into it, because we didn't finish college, and this is the best we can do. And it's sad, but it's true.
It's true. Yeah.
But yeah,
But you
there's-
kind of
there's
dodged
constant
my
administrative reports against each other.
my question a little bit though. I asked what you were investigated for.
Yeah. My brother, he got in trouble. He had a DWI. I was working that night. I went to see if he needed anything from me. I talked to the trooper. I was like, hey man, what's the deal? He was like, well, he was drinking. He did a U-turn. He didn't have a seatbelt on, so I stopped him. I found him the smell of alcohol on him or whatever. And I didn't try to use my position, because he's a fellow cop. Actually, he's a state trooper, so kind of outranks me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I guess you gotta take him in. He's already on camera anyway. He's like, yeah. What I did wrong was when he had a trial, when his trial came up, I wrote a letter to the defense without approval from my supervisor, which is in our general orders.
Okay.
He's my brother. He wanted me to write a letter of character letter. He wanted me to write a character letter for his defense, so I did, trying to help him out, and that bit me in the ass. So,
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being honest with me, man.
Yeah.
It really means a lot.
and that's the only thing I have. I've never had a citizen complaint against me.
Okay.
And that complaint came from the assistant district attorney.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And at least from what we're told, and I can't back this up, but this is just what they show us on the stats, is that the vast majority of complaints come from other officers against officers. Sergeants against officers, officers against sergeants, sergeants against lieutenants, lieutenants against captains. It's the numbers from what I hear are staggering, and I can't give you a percentage, but it was like over 70-something% of complaints come from other officers.
Do you have any idea
Against
where I could
officers.
find those stats?
I would say Internal Affairs Division.
I could
And I know
look
they
up
do-
internal affairs then,
I know they have walk-ins during the day, during weekdays.
because that's a completely different set of statistics than what I've been hearing
Yeah.
and seeing. So
And-
we need to look into. I appreciate that
The
information.
statistics we get often clash with what the public has, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because the
And
statistics that I'm getting says that good cops are having a hard time. They can't even rat out the bad cops because they'll lose their paycheck, lose their pension, and get blackballed in the community. I mean,
Well,
we have gangs popping up inside of police departments now.
there's a system to do that anonymously, so I don't know why that would be an issue. If
Every
an
time we
officer
try to
figured
do
he
an
would get
anonymous
blackballed.
complaint, they make us fill out information to give our information, and then threaten us with perjury, and we can't even make a complaint because we're afraid of being retaliated against, because
We had to
nobody
put
wants
our-
us to take it anonymously. They don't want to take it anonymous.
We had their forces to give our name and address and everything else, and it makes retaliation very easy.
See, I don't because when you make a call to 911, it's the same as making a report, basically. Whether a report is whether a report is the end result or not, calling 911 is reporting something. And those people call anonymously all the time. No name, no phone number. So a lot of times when we need to ask a question, we can't even contact them back because they didn't give their information. So I don't know why it would be any different to make a report in person. So, I mean, I get
a lot of food for thought already.
I get a lot of calls every night where there's just no one to call back. A lot of times it's a noise complaint, and people don't want to give their name because they don't want
For sure.
retaliation from their neighbors.
Exactly.
So
And that's a very small thing to worry about. Retaliation from a neighbor is so little compared to retaliation from an officer, because an officer coming after someone like me, they can make me look like a dirtball in a heartbeat.
our
and-
job would be a lot easier if people got to know their neighbors, because everybody's so non-confrontational nowadays that if people just got to know each other, they would maybe not call on each other all the time. They could just call each other and say, "Hey man, music's a little loud." Yeah, that's cool.
Well, some of my neighbors I got to know, and I wish I hadn't.
But
Well, I'm going to do a FOIA request on your history that you told me, and I'm not going to dig too much. I'm not going to try to pull your salary or do nothing like that. I'm just going to make sure what you just told me on video is correct, and if it happens to be correct, then you're going to be a video on my channel saying thank you to this polite police officer.
Good cop video.
And,
Yeah.
and you're going to be a video
That's
of
fine.
an officer.
I saw you with Patrick before. I think he got me a hamburger
Yeah.
at
He,
Whataburger.
he
that
told
was
me
you.
about
I
that.
was
He,
gonna tell
he
him
told me
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
So you didn't get my card though.
I think I did actually.
I'm Andrew Political Trends. Did you subscribe?
Oh no, I didn't get this card.
No.
I got a card from
So
Patrick.
I have a tip line on there. If you know of any corrupt cops or judges or mayors or you know city councilmen, just call me. You don't have to really tell me who they are. Just kind of tell me what department they're in. I'll run them out.
I want to stress, since you're gonna post this, that before
I can take this part out. If you want something not
Okay.
posted, then I can help you out.
No, it's fine. I'm not gonna say anything that I care if you post or not, but I just want to stress that before I answered your questions, I put I'm not sure. That nothing I told you is definite. It's just what I heard, like the statistics about
yeah,
officers
yeah.
complaining on officers.
For sure.
I'm a lowly PO. I'm not a supervisor. I'm not even a senior police officer yet. So everything I hear is secondhand, third-hand knowledge.
Well, I'll treat it as that. I mean, you know, but that's information that's interesting to me because it's conflicting with the information I've already found out. So, you know, it could be pocketized. You know,
Yeah.
it could be you know regionalized.
Maybe.
So I'll look into
Because
it.
with a department this size, people find it hard to believe that, you know, you might not know this guy or that guy, but it's like I've been on night shift my whole career. I don't know 90% of other officers. I'm especially out here in Willowbrook, we're literally an island. HPD jurisdiction is just Willowbrook. Everywhere around it is Harris County and constables. And then our station is out of Greens Point. And all those are connected to other beats in the department, but Willowbrook isn't. It's an island, just like Kingswood. Yeah.
Where would you suggest we go to get some good action footage?
Action,
There are a lot of
like,
activities going on.
oh, North Shepherd.
North Shepherd.
That's the mic we're on, but it's considered 3 and 6 district, which is Acres Homes area and stuff like that. There's a foot or car chase every single night.
North Shepherd, east or west side of 45.
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
There's a foot or a car chase every night.
Yeah, literally. They just had one.
Dang.
And it goes from 610, or no, from the Beltway down to, from the Beltway down to 610. And left to right, that's all Shepherd, North Shepherd area.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right at Greens Point Inn.
Yeah,
And you were Broom?
Greens Point, yeah.
Man, it was nice to meet you,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Thank you
You
so
too,
much
guys.
for your work, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Feel like and subscribe.
Huh? Oh,
Feel
yeah,
like and
yeah.
subscribe.
And I'm
Okay,
News
man,
Now. I'm News Now
something
Ninja.
to do, too. We don't- So none of us have to have your personal cell phone to be able to call and interact, you know, back and forth. You can go get an extra Google Gmail account, email address. Then go over to Google Voice and get yourself a free Google Voice phone number. Then you can get the Google Voice app, put it on your phone, and then you can call from that number. And it's not connected or traced or anything to your phone. You do it from a laptop. And then you can call anybody you want to call, and they can have the number to call you back, but they don't have your personal number. So that way we can create a community precinct within the auditor community as well. Because quite frankly, there's a lot of auditors out there that are, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah.
You know, and so creating a community policing within the auditing community and creating those lines, because I have a lot of cop
Hold on,
friends.
hold on. 17 ball. I'm good, man. I'm speaking to
I have law enforcement friends that help us. And we're building that the numbers of good cops. I'm looking for good cops to edify good cops.
I believe in community policing. There's so much that we don't know about our own policy only because it's 900 plus pages. So sometimes, guys, it's almost 1,000 pages literally, because
You said some great things tonight.
when we've studied for the sergeant's test, it's ridiculous. You almost got to memorize these policies, and so we do the best of our ability. Something like this, I would have to check with our policies, like calling citizens and telling them where stuff is happening. Probably,
Maybe not necessarily that.
it's probably going to be against one of our policies.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But you know, it's something I got to look into. If
But
I'm the type of person, if I don't know, I look into it.
You see, that line is a tip line. You can call that line anonymously and do that. Anybody can call that anonymously.
And we
I was
both-
talking about to have a two-way conversation about, about ideas and how to flush out bad cops in different places.
Okay. You mean not necessarily like on the job, but
Right.
Like maybe we could find out the exact sections of what it would be a violation on y'all's part, so that we could build it to where y'all don't have to say whatever specific amount, and find that border of allowed and not allowed, where you could call and say, hey, I might know of an officer in Houston that works in this area that's not acted so right. Or I might know this sheriff that's working out of this county who's not acting too right, and be very vague to where you're not giving up specifics from the officers or a specific
job, to
location.
flush it out.
And we just flush it out off of a vague announcement, you know?
See,
And-
like when we walk up on you, if you were a tyrant, the judge is watching.
yeah.
And I knew
And
instant
you
where
had-
you were
you
going to
had-
be,
we've
because your
all-
door was open and I was right here, and that was the true test. Because most officers that are tyrants are going to be like, get away from my car, get out of here, back up. You
record
know,
me.
you can't record in there. Don't record my computer, or you know. And
I have nothing to hide.
that's what I like to
Now,
hear.
There's a certain level of comfort, and I'm sure. Well, I can't say I'm sure because I haven't seen all your videos. I've seen a couple, but
Of mine,
situations where officers
Patrick.
are actually
Patrick's.
well,
He's called
Patrick's,
Patrick's.
yeah,
he's the auditor that everybody loves to hate.
yeah. There's always someone like that. I mean, it's like, but it's I haven't had a problem with him.
He's
He
good,
talks
yeah.
to me, and
He's a good guy.
I know that he will instigate.
He's just
But-
annoying.
It's like a test for officers. I get
It
that.
Yep.
Okay. And if the officer reacts correctly, there is no escalation involved.
That's right.
And then he'll usually
get
tell
that.
him like, hey man, let me get you a burger or something. And
Yeah,
we,
I
you
get
know.
that.
Yeah.
By the way, I fought him. I don't like people buying me stuff and we're not supposed to accept any gratuities. But he literally handed the lady the money before I could even get my wallet, because we were
Right.
right there at the drive-thru.
Right.
You guys were.
That's
But
why
hey,
we did it that way. Because that's what I told him. We walked up and said, "Hey, he can't accept any gratuities." Exactly what I told him, because it's considered bribery.
Yeah.
So you just pay for it first, and that way he's.
Yeah, he got to his wallet before I got to mine.
All right, man. We're gonna let you go.
Yeah, you go
Alright,
take care of it. Thank
Yep.
you so
should be
much.
a trooper,
Yeah.
because you're a trooper.
I try to get into the Pennsylvania State Police, man, but they got a tough application process.
Yeah. Hey, you give
It's
us a
brutal.
ride back to my vehicle?
Huh?
You give us a ride back to my vehicle?
Where you at?
Over there.
Over there.
You want to ride right over there?
You give us a
I'll ride in the back.
Ride along?
It's safer than crossing 1960, I guess.
Heck yeah.
You can do that?
Keep in mind, we're in the COVID era, and you're guys gonna sit in the back
I
of
mean,
this.
that's a phantom thing.
Okay.
That's the flu. But then you
I'll wear my mask.
At your own risk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wear my mask and I'll keep myself to myself.
Anytime I give anybody a ride, I warn them. I'm like, these things don't get watched
I am
frequently.
so
I think it'd be better for me to get through on the other side.
Oh yeah.
I am not worried about
All right, guys.
any of it.
This is a good time to go live. St. Cleveland traffic stop. Orange View and courtesy ride across the street. Hey, we got ACs in the back seat now. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Ooh, nice.
I give someone a ride, we gotta call it in. Everything we do has to be called in pretty much. What is this? 2001?
the first time I ever got to ride in one of these, not in trouble.
Not in handcuffs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, honestly, man, cameras do not even bug me, but I don't know, a lot of guys,
It triggers them.